This is the Ohio AgNet from the voice you know at the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF and Zidua, the most trusted name in herbicides, providing Ohio soybean and corn acres with up to 2 weeks more residual activity and broad-spectrum weed control. I'm Ty Higgins. A roundtable conversation this week hosted by Ohio Corn and Wheat gave farmers a chance to visit with Washington policymakers Representative Greg Landsman and U.S. Senator Elisa Schlotkin about the challenges happening on Ohio farms and the opportunities for legislators to alleviate some of the pain that's being felt during a critical time for the industry. Jed Bauer is an Ohio farmer and also president of the National Corn Growers Association. I got his thoughts shortly after the roundtable.
It's really nice to hear elected officials, especially at that high level, reinforcing what we've been talking about for so long. Farm bill, ethanol, everything that's truly important to farmers down at the farm level, and what we can do to try to alleviate some of the stresses for the farmers in this terrible time in ag right now. And it's truly great to hear their support and the ideas and thoughts that they have to maybe push some of these things over that hump that we've been struggling so long to get over.
Since you and I last conversed, there has been some movement on the E15 front, not year-round per se, but a waiver for the summer months. Is there concern that with that waiver in place that it kind of maybe kicks the can down the road a little bit more as far as getting the codification of year-round E15?
Yeah, unfortunately it does. People's like, well, the president gave you that waiver. Well, he did, and that's great, but we've had that waiver for years if you really dive down into it, and a lot of people don't realize that. But it doesn't build out the infrastructure. If you were to own a gas station, would you want to spend hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to potentially invest into moving to different blends? Probably not if you didn't know there wasn't any certainty. And that's what the true E15 bill will allow. And the waivers just don't accomplish that. So no matter what, we need to get this bill passed, get E15 in the books, make it law, and bring some relief to farmers.
There were some farmers here today that are very active as far as politically and making sure that their voices are heard. Some farmers maybe not so active on that front, but still here in the room. As you guys get into the field this spring, you and I are sitting in front of a planter that should be in the field right now. You probably should be in the field right now. What's the mindset? What's the thought and the hope of farmers as they start this planting season with all the challenges that we're talking about here today?
It's obviously a struggle. We all know that in ag right now. There's just not a lot of black ink. A lot of it's red as we look to put this crop out, and creating a lot of stress for all farmers. But we've got to look to the future. We've got to keep the pressure on. So as I'm in the tractor, as my planter starts to roll, if there's an opportunity for me to be on a Zoom call or me to be on a phone call to talk with members of Congress and push how important our issues are, I'm going to be there. And I think a lot of farmers need to be open to that. If we call and say, hey, do you have 5 minutes to talk to such and such? We got to be able to do that, because this is this year's crop, but we're looking for things that's going to make a difference for hopefully decades to come.
Jed Bauer, president of the National Corn Growers Association, our guest here on Ohio AgNet. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Ty.
You can watch our full conversation right now. It's on our Facebook page. Just search Ohio AgNet and Ohio's Country Journal. Let's get a check of the forecast with Ryan Martin, brought to you by Seed Consultants, simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com.
We've got a frontal boundary trying to sweep through from northwest to southeast here, and that's going to bring scattered showers to the state. Now, it's been lighter in certain areas to our west, so it's not like everybody's going to be getting big rains, but I think through midnight tonight, 75-80% of the state can see anywhere from a tenth to 6/10 of an inch of moisture. Dry for the weekend, but moisture comes back next week. I'm Ryan Martin.
Thank you, Ryan. Markets and analysis next here on the Ohio AgNet.
Are you looking for the latest in Ohio agriculture? Well, you can get it all in one place. The Ohio AgNet Podcast. Join us as we sit down with farmers, experts, and ag leaders from across the Buckeye State. From the latest news to interviews that matter, we're here to keep you informed and connected. Whether you're in the tractor, the truck, or the shop, we bring the conversation to you. Search Ohio AgNet Podcast on your favorite app or find it on Facebook or YouTube. Don't miss a minute of the Ohio AgNet Podcast. Subscribe today.
Welcome back to the Ohio AgNet. I'm Ty Higgins, and today's market analysis is brought to you by Louis Dreyfus Company. Excited to bring a brand new soybean crush facility to Upper Sandusky. Learn more about marketing your soybeans with LDC at 574-566-2113. Corn export inspections last week continued at a strong pace with 2.81 billion bushels shipped so far. That's up 30% from last year. Soy inspections for the year running 18% lower than last year at this time. The drop in exports reflected pessimism that China will buy another 8 million metric tons of old crop U.S. soybeans. Live cattle futures are near contract highs and poised to break above that level, which may result in further short covering. And April's supply and demand report showed a projected $2 increase in the quarterly average hog price for the second and third quarters of the year compared to the March WASDE report. Midday markets on the Ohio AgNet brought to you by Seed Consultants, Simply Better Performance, online at seedconsultants.com. May corn $4.39 a bushel, down by a nickel. December $4.70, off by 4 1/4. Soybeans for May 6 1/4 higher at $11.71 1/2. November beans $11.55 1/4, up by 2 3/4. And July wheat down 4 1/4 at $5.80 3/4. Live cattle for April, $250.15 up 37 points. June up 55 cents at $247.75. Feeder cattle for May, $372.35 up $1.92. Lean hogs for April, $90.75 up 7 cents, but the May down 25 at $95.65. This is the Ohio AgNet.